Let's take a look at the bag. So the first thing you notice is that I use a really high quality bag. Very strong, waterproof and resilient. On the back side it has Velcro so that I can attach it to whatever kit I'm using on the day. If I'm YouTubing, it'll go on the bottom of my YouTube rucksack. It may go on a belt, whatever it's needed for is there.
This video does not constitute medical advice. Training in the equipment shown must be sought prior to its use.
In an emergency, always call the emergency services or have someone do it for you.
Let's open the bag up. And as you can see, everything's nicely laid out, easy to get to, with my grab things ready to go. My tourniquets ready to go, my trauma bandages ready to go. Training. So the equipment that I'm going to show you today needs some training. It needs some basic training and a basic understanding of how to use it. I would suggest you go on the internet, find some wilderness first aid courses, or perhaps first response emergency care or something along those lines, and that will give you a good insight on how to use the equipment. I can show you briefly, but that's not enough. You're going to need to know how to use it, and you're going to need to know how to use it when you're under pressure, at the worst day of your life. You're also going to need to practice. Practice. If you don't... So let's start from the top. We have our CAT Tourniquet. It should be nice and easy to remove. Just put it out and it should be ready to go. So this is one of the official CAT Tourniquets. I would suggest that you don't even consider buying one of the value budget tourniquets that you probably see on certain websites. Just don't do it. This is kit that you need to work 100% in that time of emergency. You can't run the risk of it not working. So let's take a quick look at the practicality of applying a tourniquet with one hand. So this is my tourniquet taken out of the packet. It's opened up. Imagine I've cut the artery on this hand, or I've lost this hand. I shall take my tourniquet, I'll feed it through. I'll pull the Velcro nice and tight. I'll then crank up the tourniquet, so I'll turn the handle and I will turn this until the blood flow stops. I'm not going to do this too tightly because it's actually quite painful. I'll then fold over my Velcro and then secure. With a permanent marker, I'll write the time that I applied the tourniquet. Your emergency medical services will need to know that information. When it comes to applying tourniquets and bandages, you need to practice to be ambidextrous. You need to apply your bandages to your left side using your right side and vice versa, and the same with a tourniquet. You can imagine the scenario, you're right-handed, you've practiced putting a tourniquet on your left arm and a chainsaw cuts off your right hand. Come on, I mean, it's the scenario, the worst thing's going to happen if it's going to happen, right? I've got some CELOX haemostatic granules. These you simply pour into a wound and cover the wound with a trauma bandage. You can't use these in your chest cavity or in cavities, but arms and legs and those sort of things, these are amazing. They'll stop a lot of bleeding very quickly, coagulates the wound very quickly. I've got my trauma shears, my trusty trauma shears, cheap and cheerful. So these I will use to cut off clothing. So let's look at what else is in the bag. I've got some Israeli bandages or some trauma bandages. These are bandages which are designed to add compression. I'm not going to open these are still in date, these are good to use. These are great bits of kit to have around. CELOX Z-Fold haemostatic gauze. This gauze is designed to be packed into a wound. So if you've got a wound such as an axe wound, it's best to sort of fill the void. And the way to do that is to take the gauze and literally shove it into the wound, and then we cover with a Israeli dressing afterwards. This type of thing here, I can't actually imagine using it on myself because I should imagine it's extremely painful. Although, in the situation where I can see my lifeblood running away, I think I would have to. So if we correctly plan for our expedition, our camping trip, our trip to the allotment, our hunting trip in the woods, then hopefully we'll avoid needing this sort of equipment. But you never know. So finally, I do carry some regular elastoplast plasters because not everything is a major trauma. I carry some paracetamol and some ibuprofen. I mean, if I'm waiting for the emergency services and I've got some form of wound, it's going to hurt. I'm going to want some form of pain relief. So I carry basic pain relief for myself that I know I'm not allergic to, that I know I can take. A strip of antihistamines, because stings, bites, those sort of things. So the wounds that we may come across could be created from a chainsaw, from an axe, from falling from a height, from a tree. It could be being hit by a car. There's a numerous number of things. So we need to factor in what could happen and how we're going to overcome it on our own in a situation where we're far from help